I am Beena P, Assistant Professor of Physics in Government First Grade College, Tarikere in Chikmagalur district. Today I am here to speak on a stable multivibrator using a transistor. Let's know what's an astable multivibrator. An astable multivibrator or a free-running multivibrator as it is called is the multivibrator which has no stable states. Its output continuously its output will be continuously oscillating between its two unstable states without the aid of external triggering. The time period of each states can be determined by resistor capacitor time constant, that is RC time constant. Now let's see what the circuit diagram which is displayed over here. In this diagram we have two transistors which is wired as a switch, that is Q1 and Q2. When a transistor is on, its collector and emitter acts as a short circuit. Okay, but when it is off, they act as open circuit. So in this circuit, when a transistor is in off state, its collector will have voltage VCC, and when it is in on state, its collector will be grounded. When the transistor is on, the other will be off. So the off time of this transistor is determined by RC time constant. When the circuit is switched on, one of the transistor will be more conducting. This may be due to the imbalance in the circuit or difference in the parameters of the transistor. So the more conducting transistor will be driven to the saturation and less conducting transistor will be driven to cutoff. Let's come to the working of this transistor. When the circuit is switched on, one transistor will be going to the saturation condition, that is on condition, and the other will be driven to the cutoff state. So let us consider Q1 is in on condition and Q2 is off condition. During this time, the capacitor C2 is charging to VCC through resistor R. Now Q2 is off due to the negative voltage from the discharging capacitor C1, which is charged during the previous cycle. So the off time of Q2 is determined by R1 C1 time constant. Now see this figure. Here, after a time period determined by R1 C1, the time constant, the capacitor C1 discharges completely and starts charging in the reverse direction through R1. Now when the capacitor C1 charges to a voltage sufficient enough to provide base emitter voltage with 0.7 volts to the which is given to the transistor Q2, it turns on and the capacitor C2 starts discharging. Now come to the next case. Here the negative voltage from the capacitor C2 turns off the transistor Q1 and the capacitor C1 starts charging from VCC through the resistor, and the base emitter of the transistor Q2, thus the transistor Q2 remains in the on state. As in the previous state, when the capacitor C2 discharges completely, it starts charging towards opposite direction through R2. When the voltage across the capacitor C2 is sufficient to turn the transistor Q1 to on condition, Q1 will turn on and capacitor C1 starts discharging. This process continuously produces rectangle waves in collector of each circuits. If we come back to the first circuit, you can see rectangular waves have been formed. See, this output is obtained in a CRO which is connected between the collector of the second transistor and the ground, okay, of the connector to the ground. So whatever output, the rectangular waves that is coming in the CRO is studied, observed, and we have to say that the wave shows that in this wave, that is first upper state gives T1, the time duration T1, and the lower state, that is 0 state or off state, gives T2. If you take the sum of this T1 and T2, it gives actually T, where if you take the reciprocal of this time period, you will get frequency of these waves. This is how we can calculate the frequency of these waves using this experiment. Thank you.